Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today we've got another one of the books that I picked up during Fantagraphics Fantabook sale. I pre-ordered everything that I wanted for the rest of the year from Fantagraphics and then cashed in all of my gift codes for older books from them. And this is one of them, The Amateurs by Conor Stechschulte. I grabbed this one because earlier in the year I had read Generous Bosom by Conor Stechschulte, and part one of it's one of the best comics I've read in a long time. If you go check out that review, you'll see that I didn't like I didn't like where the story went from here, but this volume and Fantagraphics is now releasing the collection of the whole thing under a different name. I think it's called Ultrasound. The collection of all four of these. It had a movie come out under the name of Ultrasound, so they're recollecting it under that name. So if you haven't picked it up, I would still recommend it. This one's a really beautiful book, but I particularly liked issue one, not the rest of it. But I think Conor Stechschulte, and I think I'm pronouncing the name right, is a really powerful cartoonist and a really great writer when he's at his peak and avoiding some of the genre traps that Generous Bosom falls into. So I wanted to read another work by him and see in a more condensed work how he, how his writing style works there. And it really paid off. I really like this book, The Amateurs. I think he works really good in these shorter story styles, not these longer narratives. But I don't know. I've only read two works by him. I don't know if there's other stuff out there. Generous Bosom and this one were both published in 2014, so I don't know which came first in his production. This is a black and white book. It starts with a diary of Anne M. Nemeth, someone from a girls' school, a girl from a girls' school. Her and a friend have gone out and gone to the river and found a decayed dead head out there and have promised not to talk about it. So it sets up this horrific thing. And Stechschulte is really good at unsettling, really, really good at that, like horror. And is a pretty good cartoonist as well. The cartooning in this one's not, or the drawing, I should say, in this one's not quite as good as in Generous Bosom, or maybe it's just because he's not using color in this one. He's relying on black and white. But this feels like this one probably came first and then Generous Bosom, or he's just trying a different style. But it's still really, really great cartooning, and especially as the story gets more wild or in the more unnerving and gross moments, I think is where he really shines. So it's a bit of a strange narrative where this journal of these girls that starts out like disappears, and you just meet these two characters here, Winston and Stan, I believe. Sorry, I'm always bad with names, but they meet up and they're like, man, I was sick last night. And they're going to their workplace and they come in and they're like, oh, we're butchers. Jim and Winston, sorry. Um, they come in and they're like, we know we're butchers, but like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, is this our business? And they obviously have some kind of, at least short term amnesia, where they don't remember their job, but they remember each other. And two customers come in who are regulars, two women come in and like ask for their regular order, and these guys realize like, oh no, we really don't remember anything. We don't know how we're doing our jobs. We don't know what their orders are. So we're gonna have to fake it. And that's pretty much the premise of the story. And then it just ramps up in like the black comedy and the over the top horror and of the violence of these two guys, the amateurs who don't know how to be butchers, trying to run this butcher shop. So like this first thing that goes wrong is they're trying to kill a cow and they have an argument about, do we like basically jab a hole into its brain or do we cut its throat? And when all of that goes wrong, I think this is where Stechschulte's art really, really goes into overdrive and really lands, is just the chaos of them trying to slaughter these animals. And I don't want to go through the rest of the book and give it away. Go get it and read it. It's a great book. So it just cascades from there into worse and worse stuff. Then the journal of the girl shows back up about halfway through, and you start to see that she's having some larger uncomfortable experience with this river in town, seeing other girls like doing strange witchy things. And then you go back to the two butchers like totally falling apart, and then at the end of the book you end again with this diary. And those two stories seem like mild, and there's kind of like an epilogue here where two characters involved is something are talking about, like that time at the river. No one talks about it. Oh, that never happened. So it seems like, there's something in this town related to the river that's gone wrong. Maybe some kind of witchcraft, maybe some kind of curse, and maybe these guys got sucked into it. So there's like these two narratives that only maybe kind of linked together, and it's left up to the reader to link them together. And I think that's good in this book. There's no real answers provided. There's just an atmosphere provided and some details, and then you get to fill in everything else. And I think that makes it more horrific and terrible. So I really think Stechschulte is powerful in those moments. I think that's where he's most powerful, and in these moments where he's doing this kind of gross drawing style, it's a little rough and horrific and abrasive. So yeah, I really like his work, and I'll keep looking forward to any other things. If people know of other work that he's done, please let me know. I really like what he does. I think he's a fantastic writer and a really visceral artist in a way that is very compelling. So definitely check this out if you haven't. If you have some money left over and you haven't picked it up, go get yourself a copy of The Strange Death of Alex Raymond and start saving your ducats. Looking forward to the next couple books that Sean will be putting out under Living the Line: Yuichi Yokoyama's Plaza and Eric Creek's The Exile. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jack.